to your weekly yoga session, and we'll get started straight away. Come to your comfortable seat for our checking in. It's my favourite way to start. Okay, just sitting comfortably. If you need to grab any blocks or cushions, just pause the video and come back when you're ready. And then inhale deeply and exhale through the mouth completely. Allow the breath to return to normal. And just start to scan in your mind's eye your physical body. How do you feel today? Are there any aches or pains? Any areas that feel sticky? And just be mindful of those areas as we move through the practice. Maybe working with a little more of a gentle quality with those areas. And then take a scan of the emotional body. How do you feel? Have you asked yourself that today yet? And whatever it is, know that it's okay. It's part of whatever process you're going through. But maybe just don't engage with it and set it aside just for the next 30 minutes. And allow yourself this time to carve out your practice, to nourish. And then I invite you to set an intention for your practice. Maybe it's something you want to work on personally. Maybe it's a mantra. Or to send the energy of your practice to someone that needs it today. That person might be you. And then come to open the eyes. Okay, we're working a lot into the hips today. So it should be a really nice and stretchy way to wake up or wind down, whichever time of the day you're working with. Blocks might be helpful for you, and if you've got sore knees, maybe just grab a blanket or something that you can pad the knees out with if you know that you've got a knee issue, or a little cushion or some sort of padding. Right, coming round onto the mat for child's pose. Wide legs, so knees to the outside edges of the mat, and allow the rib basket to fit in between the knees. Stretch the fingers forward, and as you walk the fingers forward, stretch the bottom back to the heel, so it's deepening that stretch. Feel a stretch across the shoulder blades, and keep working to bring the shoulders down and away from the ears, so you're not creeping up and creating tension, but lengthening through the neck, working shoulders onto the back. Inhale, start to walk the hands back up. You can keep the legs where they are, or bring them so that they're in line with the hips. We're just going to do some side bending. So walk the fingertips over to the right and stretch through the left side body, bringing the left hand over the top of the head. Right hand supports you. Breathe here and take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Try not to crane in the neck. It shouldn't be creating any more tension, but just a gentle gaze to the ceiling. Inhale, come through centre, and then take the stretch over to the other side, stretching through the right side body. Inhale, come back to centre and clasp the hands behind your back, like so. And then pull the hands down towards the mat and open through the chest. And then take the hands slightly away, just gently. So it's really creating an opening in the chest. So I know I said hips, but I do like to work through opening all of the body rather than just one area. But it's predominantly hips, but I realise this is not. Inhale, come back to centre. I like to go for a full body experience with every session whilst isolating little areas. Okay, tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, knees under hips. Engage your core here, and when I say that, I mean imagine your belly button coming up towards your spine, in towards your spine, sorry, and up towards the diaphragm. So your belly is engaged. And keep breathing. So normally when we start to engage or tense things, then we lose the breath immediately. So find a way to breathe whilst keeping engagement. And just start to pad the hands out, walking back and forwards. Waking up the arms, we're working into the core, putting weight into the arms and shoulders, getting everything fired up. What's happened to the belly? Have you let it go? And then take the fingers towards the front and inhale, tilt the tailbone up towards the ceiling as you drop the belly, shine the heart through the arms. Find space through the chest. Exhale, tuck under the tailbone, round out through the middle of the shoulders and bring chin to chest. Inhale, drop the belly, find space. And exhale, tuck under the tailbone, round out through the shoulders, chin to chest. 2 more times. Inhale, find space. Exhale, tuck under the tailbone, round out through the shoulders. Last time, inhale. And exhale, round. Inhale, come back to centre, back to our tabletop, and come to sit down on the mat. Okay, so we've woken up a little bit in the upper body. Now we're going to wake up a little bit in the lower body. So with your right leg, take your right foot into the crook of your left arm. And if you can't get it quite there, then into the hand is fine. And then we're going to wrap the right arm and clasp the fingers. So we've got a leg baby. So it's a bit of a strange one. So if you're here just with the hand on the foot, hand on the knee, that's equally just as fine. But other option is to take foot into the crook of the arm, knee into the crook of the right arm. And just move backwards and forwards. Rocking your weird leg baby. It's a nice way to work into the hips. Just gently warming. Okay, and then take your right hand to the outside of your right foot and bring the foot up in front of you so that your big toes towards your face, and then start to pull back, so like you have like a bow and arrow. So just start to lengthen and then bring the knee back in towards the armpit. So while you're doing this, the tendency is to like lean back as well, but as much as you can, try and keep an upright seat, so keep engaged with the core, so rather than just letting everything sag to bring the knee backwards, just try and maintain a semblance of upright quality. And if you need to sit up on a cushion as well, that is fine. Okay, swap sides. So with the other foot, left foot into the crook of the right arm, or take hold of the left foot with the right hand, knee into the other crook of the elbow, and left side leg baby. I don't know what's happening to the wire on my microphone. For some reason it took me like 20 minutes to put my microphone on, and I have no idea why. Nothing's changed, I just couldn't fathom it out today. Okay, keep moving. Just a few more moments. Have you stopped breathing? Okay, and then take the left hand to the outside of the left foot, and then create your leg bow and arrow. Just working it back towards the armpit and forward again. So your shape might not look anything like my shape, that's absolutely fine. Just go to like where you feel comfortable to work. It might be just like a really small movement, that's absolutely fine. So we're looking to find our own level of progression. So your shape does not have to look like someone else's shape. The intensity of the stretch I feel might be equal to the intensity you feel, just making a small movement. Okay, and that's probably enough of that. Leg babies and bows and arrows. Right, I'll untangle myself later. Coming back onto the mat, back to tabletop position. Tuck under the toes and bring the bottom up to the sky, our first down dog. So take a little bit of free movement, wiggle side to side, stretch through one heel and then the other. Take any movement you want. Just try to be mindful of what's happening into the shoulders. So to take free movement, have you collapsed? Still push out of the shoulders. Continue to wrap the armpits towards each other and keep grounding into the whole of the underneath of the hand, making sure you're not dumping into the heel of the hand. And then take free movement. It's probably got a lot harder than when you started a few seconds ago. Okay, and then come to find stillness here. And breathe. So if down dog's difficult for you, it may help to create space. So if you have your blocks, sorry for everyone that's holding while I'm doing my usual chatting explanation, you can come up onto blocks and you've got more space, which if it's something that you find tricky, might help with this next bit. I'll demonstrate. Okay, picking up the right foot, bring the knee in towards the chest. So like we did in our cat-cow, round out through the shoulders and bring the knee in as high as it can go. Really tuck everything in and then step the right foot towards the right thumb. That's why creating space, extra space to give you as you step forward might be helpful. Okay, and then lower down the left knee. If you need to take something underneath the left knee, if it's sore, now's your chance. And then just inhale, open through the chest. Again, maybe up on blocks. if you would like a little more space in this area. Keep breathing, stretching in to the quads of the left side. And exhale, roll back. Maybe wiggle the front foot forward. Again, option to take the blocks here, either side. And then flex the toes towards the face and stretch through the hamstring. If you're feeling unbalanced here, focus on the shoelace side of the left foot and really work that into the floor. You should find it's almost instantly more stable. Okay, place the foot down on the mat again. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, roll back. Last time, inhale, forward. Exhale, come back. Inhale brings you forward. Frame the right foot. Pick up the back knee and step back, downward facing dog. Breathe here. And then take the left knee and bring it in towards the chest. Tuck it up as high as it will go. Round out through the shoulders. Turn everything on. And then step the right foot to the right thumb. Lower down the back knee and open through the chest. Breathe here. Inhale and exhale takes you back to half splits. Flex the foot, toes towards the face, knee shines towards the ceiling. Come up onto blocks if you'd prefer. You may even need to take a wiggle of either the front foot forward or knee backwards if you haven't got enough space. And then inhale, come forward. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, takes you back. Last time, inhale, come forward. Exhale, come back. Inhale, forward again. Frame the foot, step back, downward facing dog. Walk the feet to the center of the mat and take the feet to the outside edges. Start to lower the bottom down, maybe taking a wiggle on the way for Malasana. So option, also you can take a block underneath if you'd like a bit more of a supported experience. But otherwise, come to wiggle yourself in between, take the elbows to the inside of the knees so that you can slightly put resistance there and push the knees away from you. Work the tailbone towards the ground rather than out here. So if that's very difficult for you, you might just find a small amount of height on a block allows you to find that upright quality. And breathe. Might feel a little bit sticky, icky in the hips, but just breathe into that. So that kind of fuzzy sensation is okay. If it's pinchy or electric, like stabby little sensations, you probably need to come out of it just a little bit. We're just going to take 5 more breaths here. Last one. And plant the hands in front of you. Inhale, slowly bring the bottom up. Ooh, walk the feet in towards the center line and fold in the middle, maybe bend through the knees. Walk the hands forward, place them in front of you, walk the feet back, downward facing dog. This time, step right foot to the outside of the right hand, lower down the back knee. So the right arm is on the inside of the right shin. Inhale, open through the chest. So this is lizard. And then just find some little wiggly movements here. Anything you want to just move into the hips. So it might be quite intense here to come straight away. So just take any little rotations or wiggles, anything that feels good. And then come to rest again with the chest forward. And you might have quite a lot of mobility in your hips, in which case you can bring the forearms down. And if that's still not enough, you can wiggle the toes even more forward. I'm just going to take a few breaths here. It can be quite intense working into the hips. It can also throw up emotions. So try not to get too involved in the dialogue. Just keep breathing. Just allow yourself the space to explore without labeling, good or bad, right or wrong. Then inhale, walk the hands back up. And now a little bit of an addition to this posture. Curl in the left foot, and this might be enough for you already. It might also be a little bit crampy in the back. And if you can, take the right hand and reach behind and grab the left foot. Yes, it's a little crampy. I knew when I said that I was going to have cramp. Okay, so just do what you need to do. And then open through the chest. If this is too much on your knee, or you're just struggling with not having enough mobility in the hips, just stay as you were in lizard, maybe taking the wiggles again. And then release down, come back to the mat, tuck under the toes and step back, downward facing dog. And stretch it out here before we come to the other side. So left foot steps to the outside of the left hand, lower down the knee. Inhale, open through the chest. And then take any wiggly movements. Maybe this side is much stiffer and more sticky than the other side. One side is normally more open, so you might find a little area where you're like, oh, I want to have a wiggle in that spot. So just playing with working with new movement, new shapes, and it can be very releasing to move into new shapes. Releases build up of fascia. And then when you've had a wiggle, come forward again, opening through the chest. Breathe. And even this might be too much, so sorry, I should have said on the other side. Also, you can come up onto the blocks. You may have already worked that one out. And then if you have more space in the hips, you can come down to the mat and maybe even wiggle the foot forward a little bit. You go to where you need to work, looking for your 6 or maybe 7 out of 10. That's personal to you, no one can tell you that. And just be mindful. Keep breathing. And inhale, come up. For the high straight arm variation, curl in the back toes if that's where you went on the other side. If not, just stay here or maybe work into a few more wiggles. And then reach around with the left hand and take the top of the right foot. I was all twisted up. I forgot what foot I was on. And open through the chest. Keep breathing here. If you ever get to a point where you're like, I can't really breathe in this posture, you've probably gone a teeny bit too fast, so just come out of it slightly. And release. Bring the hand back down to the mat, tuck under the toes and step back, downward facing dog. Stretch here through the calves. Take any movement you want. And then just come back down to the mat. Wide leg child's pose for a moment. Take forehead to the mat. Inhale, come up and come to sit down on the mat. Bring the soles of the feet together. Clasp the toes with the hands and just allow the knees come down towards the ground. If that's too intense here with the knees, you can take something underneath. Makes it a little bit more restorative. I'll leave you to make the decision. Otherwise, find length through the spine, and you can have that gentle resistance as you pull the feet away and pull back through your torso. So it can help you find length. So it's not a tug of war, it's just gentle resistance. And then Gomukhasana, so taking the left foot to the outside of the right hip, and then the right foot knee comes over the top of the left knee to the other side. So this is cow face pose. So you can also sit up on a block or a cushion here if that's more comfortable for you. Play around with the intensity, either taking the feet away or bringing them in closer to the body, and find some sort of situation that feels comfortable. If this is just too much for you, no problem at all. Other options are just cross-legged. I'm looking for a sensation in the outer hip here. You can also do ankle to knee pose, where you stack your ankles and knees. So that would be right foot over left knee, right knee over left foot, like that in a square. So those are other options if this is just too intense. Okay, so maybe pause, have a wiggle, find out where you want to come to, and just breathe here. And if you want to intensify, you can walk the fingers forward. You can even make it more restorative and walk the forehead towards a block. So I'll let you decide. I'm just going to take 5 breaths here. Inhale, come up wherever you are. So if that was pinchy on your knees, like this is not a knee stretch. This is for the glutes and the hips. So yeah, definitely you shouldn't be feeling it in the knees. And I should have said on this side also, if your knee's up here somewhere, you can take a cushion or a block. That is a completely legal maneuver. So now, 2 options. Either just cross to the other side, or my favourite transition, place the hands down, bring the bottom up, so you're like in this cross-legged situation, pivot round and land down on the other side. It's fun. And you're like, oh, how did that even happen? Okay, so go to where you went on the other side. Take whichever variation worked for you. And then breathe here. This side may feel different. I know it does for me. This is quite a bit more intense. Inhale, come up to seated. And just uncross the legs and come down to lie on the mat. Move various things out of the way. We're going to go into our final posture. So anything you need for Shavasana, our final rest, like blankets, eye blankets, have them near. Okay. Oop, move your microphones out the way. Just have a little wiggle around with the knees. You can take the palms of the hands to the knees and just work half circles. It creates like a lovely little massage for the sacrum. The harder the floor, the more intense the massage. I really enjoy this. And then take the hands to the calves or to the sides of the feet, or peace fingers, these fingers to the big toes. Happy baby. And if you're here with the bottom off the floor, try and work the sacrum all the way back down to the floor, grounding all the way down to the tail, and try and work the knees towards the armpits. They do not have to get there. It's just an intention of where they're going. And then working the tailbone towards the mat creates like a different level of intensity. So this is like less intense with the tailbone raised. So have a play around. A few more breaths. Okay, bringing the soles of the feet together. Now, yogi's choice for Shavasana, you can either come to Supta Baddha Konasana, so that's like we were before with the soles of the feet together, and you can take cushions or blocks underneath the legs, or you can just extend the mat, extend the legs all the way down the mat. Either way, take the hands away from the body, palms face up. Oh my goodness, the sun just came out and is directly pouring onto my face, which is lovely, but it's really bright. I won't be opening my eyes anytime soon. Okay, once I've stopped talking and you're settled, take a deep breath in and exhale through the mouth. Allow the breath to return to normal. Just give yourself a few moments here just to relax before you come back into your day. Let go of everything. And if you have more time, pause the video now. Otherwise, bring awareness back to the body. Maybe circle the hands. Take the arms up and overhead and give yourself a really big stretch. If you had your knees in Supta Baddha Konasana, take the hands to the outside of the thighs and help your legs back together. If your legs are extended, bring the knees in towards you, feet on the mat. And roll over onto your side like you would if you were waking up from sleep. And inhale. Keep the gaze soft or eyes closed. Come up to seated. Take hands to the knees. Bow the head just slightly. And just be really grateful to yourself for carving out the time in your day for some self-care and nourishment. Bring hands to heart center. If it's meaningful, bow the head towards the thumbs. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you. Thank you for practicing with me and taking the time to do this yummy hip flow. So I hope that you'll probably feel a little looser in the lower body. Drink lots of water, keep on top of your self-care, and yes, Do let me know what you thought, any comments, subscribe to support the channel, and share with a friend, because it's nice to do so. And I will see you next time. Okay, bye.